West Virginia and the Mountaineers, Rich Rodriguez and company have a master plan. I promise you they do on the back end of this defense. It's just get really, really big and really, really long. And it's not something a lot of teams did, but I think West Virginia is going to be successful.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia. Thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry I was so late as we dive straight in to talk about this topic, which is going to be really cool because I think West Virginia is in a good spot here, although a lot of people don't know maybe some of the names at large. So we're going to talk about that. Thanks for making us your first listen here at Locked On West Virginia today. We're talking about our friends at FanDuel right now. Look, FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with college basketball parlay profit boost. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Like we said, thanks for making us your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We're talking about your team every single day, the Mountaineers. I'm not alone, of course. I'm here with the legendary Jackson Johnson. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing today, good buddy?
Doing good, man. West Virginia has they're doing something a little different here when it comes to the cornerback spot on this year's team. And so let me plug my computer in. As we monitor, the situation, I don't want to say I got worried, but there are no what I would consider quote unquote household names at the cornerback spot, right? You're relying on a guy from Georgia Southern. You're relying on a couple guys from Hutchinson Community College, which was by far the best defense in all of JUCO last year.
Yeah.
And so they're two starters, and you're relying on a guy from Kent State who had some elite production, but they're not what you would consider household names. And a lot of Mountaineer fans will have some trepidation when talking about these guys because of their lack of being a household name, like I said. But what we're going to do on this episode is we're going to go over the plan here, I think anyways, and how it's so unique around college football. We'll talk about who each guy is and what he does well, and we're going to watch some tape on him. Does that sound good to you, Jackson?
That sounds perfect.
Jackson Johnson is here because obviously, why wouldn't he be here? He is the man, the myth, and the legend, Jackson Johnson. And, obviously the rise of the corner at West Virginia, because the prototype for corners has changed, Jackson. For decades, the mold was 5'10", 5'11", twitchy with elite hips. In the last 5 to 7 years, programs have started chasing length instead. Why do you want to know that? Because modern offenses attack back shoulder fades. There are a lot of 50-50 balls. Look at what Indiana was last year. Vertical boundary throws, once again, Indiana. Length destroys that. And in 2025, we saw several programs lean into it. Now, if you can get a guy that's long and fast, then you're in a great spot. So we're going to talk about some teams that did this last year to pretty good success. If you look at Washington last year, they had Tacario Davis and Ephesians Prysock, who were both, one was 6'4", one was 6'3", which was the largest starting cornerback duo in the country last year. They were 8-4. They had a top 50 pass defense. They were elite in run support, and they were good in contested catches situations. Receivers had really hard time separating on them last year. They weren't an elite defense. There's more to an elite defense than playing corner, but they were a part of it. Texas A&M also had big corners, and they had an elite defense last year, as you know, Jackson, en route to an 11-2 season, going 10 or top 10 caliber defense. Will Lee, the third, a 6'3" corner, is an elite player, and is one of the reasons they were number one in the nation on third down defense with that, and it allowed them to be so aggressive with their pass rush. They had a strong defensive structure, and those long corners eliminate those easy throws, right? If you look at Michigan, if you look at Florida State, let me see. I've got other notes here. Where are they? Yeah, if you look at Michigan, they had elite corners. Will Johnson, Caleb Anderson, 6'2" and 6'3". And most of their backups were 6'1". Florida State, they had Azari Thomas as their primary length option, as well as a bunch of other 6'3" guys in the rotation on there as well. But around the country, this is not what you would consider this isn't, most teams are anywhere between 5'11" and 6'1". You don't really see the higher 6'3" to 6'4" options around the country right now, Jackson.
No. But I will say it's going to be fun seeing what these corners will bring for the 2026 season.
Yeah, so get us started off with cornerback number 1 for West Virginia, Jackson.
Oh, we've got Rayshawn Reynolds, who is 6'3", 187 pounds, from the state capital of Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, Hutchinson Community College. And he had 29 tackles, 2 interceptions, multiple pass breakups, and he has elite pre-snap recognition. And he reads route stems early.
Yeah, I like him a lot. If you look at what he does well, and he was the best, he was on the best duo of corners in the country last year in JUCO. Length at the catch point, that's a strength for him. He's going to get his hands in there and knock balls out. The route anticipation is there on film, which you'll see. His recovery speed is really, really good as well. And his eyes stay locked in the zone, and they do. I mean, he does just an amazing job, and especially in those zone coverages at just getting big-time play. So we'll definitely be checking that out. As you will see, guys, he continues to just crush the game for the Hutchinson Community College team last year. So I have some film on him. I think we'll watch it here. Let me make sure I've got the right film. Okay, so let me get in here. I think this. So this is Rayshawn Reynolds last year at Hutchinson Community College, who just did a great job. And you're muted, Jackson. So I don't know why it's got you muted, but
I got unmuted.
Oh, okay,
so,
good.
Yeah, here we go. So we're seeing what he's bringing, that pre-snap recognition.
Yep,
there it is. Boom.
Great play there in the open field, obviously. And here he is playing outside corner about 7 or 8 yards off for this play for those listening on audio. And look at that play recognition.
Boom.
Great job, right? There were a lot of bells and whistles to that play. And, they thought they could take him out with motion, and they didn't. Here's a play on an inside post. My battery was running low. I didn't realize that. But, you see him here walking up, walking back, playing this thrill. And they tried to get him on a double move, and he didn't fall for it. Nice play there. Here he is right here playing towards the inside of the defense, and that's what we were talking about. He just gets his hands on footballs, and they poke out. He does it all. It's all over his tape. And that's that length. A 5'10" guy, that may have been a catch. Now, in run support, this dude can really play. I mean, he is a good ball player in run support. I would consider him to be this is definitely one of his strengths as a football player. And you can do a lot with a guy this size that can move like this. And what I always say, Jackson, is a guy that's 6'3" like this, that's already such a good athlete, if it don't work out at corner with him, put 30 pounds on him and make him a linebacker.
Oh, there we go. Boom.
But I mean, this is a guy this is going to be a dude that plays this year for West Virginia. Do not doubt that. And here you'll see, look at him. They're trying to lock him up. No chance. And look at that play recognition once again. Well, it's just football IQ on that play. Here you can see he's towards the camera, and they take him inside and watch him just peel off and make a great play there, keeping his eyes in the backfield. They obviously they teach him well at Hutchinson. On a play where they busted, he comes in, and that's a hustle play on his part, and another great job. As you can see, I think that what's going to be difficult for him specifically in the Big 12, you see a lot of screen passes. You see a lot of situations where corners get locked up, or they're getting blocked and they can't get off the block. This is a dude that's going to be able to shed blocks and rock your face off, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
look for Rayshawn Reynolds to be one of the duo of the other. So there is another guy, Jackson, that we need to get to, obviously, that was the other part of this duo who, let's just be honest, man, may have been the best cornerback in all of JUCO last year.
Ooh, the other guy that went to Hutchinson Community College, Damon
Right.
Allen, the ball hog. 190 pounds, 6'3", a Florida native. And for 2025, he had 25 tackles and 4 interceptions. Ooh, that's a good one right there.
Yeah, he had some elite numbers for them last year. And this is a dude that, you know, if you look at what he does on film, he's able to bait quarterbacks due to his ability to close windows quickly. He's able to high point the ball whenever he's in a situation to pick it off. His strengths are absolutely his ball skills, his range, and his length disruption as well. And if you look on tape, he's, you know, his JUCO tape, there are a couple times where he's got late recognition on a play, and he still makes up for it because he's got such great ball skills and length. You know, because his tackling angles are well done. You know, I think he fits well in cover 3 or cover 4. Let him read the quarterback. Let him stay locked up with the corner. He's going to be really hard to block, and he's going to be tough to he's going to be tough to wrangle in there. So we've got film on him as well. And as you can see, he is the other piece of that duo here at Hutchinson that I think just did a great job for them last year. Here he is coming in on the blitz, causing a quarterback hurry. You see the athleticism on display there, Jackson.
Oh, man, he was just knocking him down. And there we
Look
go.
at that. That's absolutely dominant right there on that rep. Great rep by him right there on this play. Here he is playing 10 yards off, so not even press. And you can see, like, he recognized that play. He jumped in there and made it a great play. He causing a 5-6 yard loss on this play. Here you see him coming in motion. He's in man coverage and just does a great job sticking with his guy and doing well. So, you know, here's a technique that he talked about. What did he call that technique? I can't remember. I tried it. I couldn't see it on the screen there. I misread it. But there's a nice interception from him. Just turning around, looking for the ball, you know, staying in phase with the receiver, doing a good job. Once again, there he's again using that length. And they call him Gravedigger, you know, so I love that as a nickname. You know, he and obviously Rayshawn did a great job together last year. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this duo can do at West Virginia. Will they both lock down their own starting spot, or will they lock down a starting spot, battle for one, you know, because there are other guys involved here. And I think it's a great competition in the room. I think it's interesting that you have so many guys that are this tall, because this isn't the last one, Jackson. There are several guys in this room that are tall as heck, and we're going to be looking at another one that's extremely interesting here in a second. Then we've got one more to look at beyond that, you know, I would consider to be definitely in the race. So we got one or two more plays here. As you can see, this is called the catch technique. Looks like he just squeezed him in and just pulled back out there. That's a pretty cool play. But yeah, so we lost Jackson. But you know, we'll go to break really quick. We'll come back and we'll talk about these other guys in the room that, like I said, I think Zac Alley is going to make a big opportunity out of this. We'll talk about it next. This is Locked On West Virginia. We'll get you in a second, Jackson. All right, guys, we're talking about our friends here, and we do love our friends, and we always love talking about our friends, you know, and I just extra part of this 5 Hour Energy is kind of like, I mean, how many people do you know that run on 5 Hour Energy in your life? I know a couple people that use it a lot. You know, they do a good job with this product, I feel. I'm actually supposed to be getting some in the mail soon, but welcome to the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft with 18 different flavors to choose from, including new options like confetti craze, fruity rainbow, and cotton candy. There's always something for everyone. The board is set, the flavors are ready, and I've got my number one pick for the flavor draft. You know I've got to go with Hawaiian Breeze. Feel the breeze, taste the caffeine. It's made with passion fruit, orange, and guava flavors. It's sweet, yet smooth and tangy and tart. Pretty good stuff, guys, but I got to point you another direction, obviously, and there's no doubt about it. Cotton candy is the way to go as well. If you want to go with secondary options, it's a delicious swirl of sugary clouds, a fruity twist, and a hint of vanilla. The sweet side of the tasty caffeine, if you will. Throwback flavor with a boost. It's light, airy, and it has a candy profile, that nostalgic carnival-style taste. Make sure you head to 5hourenergy.com, or you can go to Amazon to find all these products and more. And, of course, we can't forget about our friends at TurboTax. Look, it is tax season, and for you and yours, if you're not using TurboTax, what are you doing with your life? Because it's tax time. For a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, still waiting in a room stacked full of papers, emailing back and forth, wondering if they really get your situation. This year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can feel free to race with the real tax report face-to-face, and your documents are going to get uploaded straight to the TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. TurboTax experts work to get you every dollar you deserve with real-time notifications as you go by your day. It's the relief of waking up, walking in, meeting a real person, and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you today and book your appointment. And, of course, in segment 2, I'm going to crack a do for you, Jackson. This do's for you. Let everybody know where you're at, what you're doing. Well, actually, I'll do it. Jackson is at Locked On, or not Locked On. I always say Locked On, Donna. The voice of college football, Alabama. He's also at the voice of college football, SEC Live. And he does his own show called The Jacksonian, Jackson.
Oh, yeah. One episode away from episode 100. And then on to the road to 200 episodes there as well.
What happened? Is your computer going to Fritz?
Yeah, apparently desktop had a failure to communicate for a little bit.
Oh, Lord. Well, hopefully you can get it back.
Oh, I will.
All right. So going back into this cornerback situation for West Virginia, obviously there are a couple other pieces to this that I find to be interesting. Are you still able to?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So do you have the third guy?
Oh, yeah. Chams Diagne, 6'4", 200 pounds, a Georgia State transfer. Basically a safety size at corner. And he has 25 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 346 defensive snaps from the 2025 seasons, and he's allowed 19 catches, 241 yards. He has not allowed that many yards, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's obviously what I consider a boundary bully is what I have him labeled. Yeah, he's the kind of player that's going to reroute receivers. He's going to dominate on fades. He's going to disrupt timing. Like, that's what the goal is for a dude this is size. Obviously, elite size. Actually, looking at the West Virginia roster, they've got him at 6'3" now. So it seems like maybe Georgia State had him an inch higher than he was. But either way, still 6'3". He's a big physical presence. He's got experience versus Division I FBS competition. That matters, right? Tall corners can sometimes struggle with the quick slot routes, the hip transitions, the help need, the help inside, that kind of thing. But, this dude is a great scheme fit for the boundary press cover 3 type style. And I think he's got a strong chance to start for West Virginia. There's just no doubt about it. And I like the kid. I think he's got a lot going on for him. And we'll see what happens with him. I think there's definitely a route to the starting lineup for this guy. And if you look at what he did last year, man, he was really good. I think he's got a chance to be really good for West Virginia. Call me crazy. I like his stuff quite a bit. And we'll certainly continue to watch him as we go along, Jackson.
Absolutely. I mean, after all, friends do call him the enforcer. So, I mean, it's like, oh, yeah.
That's true. They do call him the enforcer. Okay, so we've talked about a couple guys here. I'm curious. Do you think playing big corners is something that can work in this day and age, Jackson?
Oh, absolutely. I do. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Florida State had big corners last year, but that didn't help them as much. They used them correctly for Alabama, but for everybody else, nope.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're well. No, Texas A&M had great success as well, which we did talk about. There are teams that can do it. It's just really always really kind of comes down to what your goals are and what kind of defense you're trying to run is. But we'll definitely check out some Chams footage here. He's a dude that plays with a ton of emotion. I think that's what I got out of him. Really enjoyed watching his film, and is a dude that can really just take control of a game. That's kind of what I got out of it. He plays extremely hard. I mean, he really truly does. So we'll continue to monitor his stuff too. Like I said, I love his stuff, man. He might be the guy that you factor as one of the starters because of this FBS kind of stuff. But there's one other guy that I'm throwing my hat into the ring with that we're getting ready to talk about. I probably could have led off with him, but I'm going to wait to do it. For whatever reason, his video didn't come in. But as you can see here with Chams or Shams, I'm not exactly sure if it's Shams or Chams. It's just really tough to know how they pronounce those African style names. But I would imagine, he's, like I said, big, physical, intense guy. 6'3", 6'3.5". I mean, really, really physical player. And West Virginia's got three of them. Three 6'3" guys, man. Like, that's really unusual. I don't think people realize how unusual that is. Jackson, do you think it's something that can work, really?
Yeah, I believe it can be worked out.
Yeah, I do too. And I like Zac Alley. I think he's got a plan. We'll see, we'll see if it works or not. I think it will. I do think it will. We'll just have to, like I said, continue to monitor that. But he is certainly a dude that you don't want to mess with, Jackson. He may end up getting you chicken nugget size, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he will.
Okay, so
about this Nets guy afterwards.
Yeah, well, and his production is really good. So we'll definitely go there now, Jackson. Who you got next?
Ooh, Jier Rollison.
Jier, yeah.
Jier, a.k.a. the Thief. 5'9", 182 pounds. From York, Pennsylvania, a transfer from Kent State. And in his career, he's had 75 tackles, 13 starts, 845 snaps, 8 pass breakups, and 2.5 tackles for loss.
And he did this as a redshirt freshman. I think that's something to really consider. It's one thing to do this as a, sophomore, junior, senior even. But when you're talking, okay, I was a redshirt freshman and I did this, I consider that to be really, really impressive. The size is the only concern here. Everything else on tape, it's not only good, it's really good. You look at the coverage data with this guy. On 60 targets, they completed less than 50% against him. So he really played well on a defense that struggled. He is an elite tackler. I think that's what he does the best. His versatility will probably be within the slot or outside. He's got really good instincts, and he plays physical for his size. Do not let his size fool you, because it is not a situation for him. Obviously, height is the one thing. Big receivers are going to try to bully him. And if he's on the field, maybe that's a matchup player teams will try to exploit. But if you put him at the nickel spot or somewhere along there, I think he can definitely, thrive, where he can blitz, where he can tackle, disrupt short routes, all that kind of thing. I think he's got a high floor from an athleticism point of view. and I really enjoy watching him play, man. I don't know what happened here, but his tape did not translate. I don't know what happened. He's got such great tape too. It sucks, man. Let me see if I put it somewhere else. Yeah, it's looking like I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't know if I just recorded the same one twice or what here, but it happens, man. Technology for you. Let's go to break. We'll come right back and we'll talk about some basketball really quick here with Jackson Johnson. Stick around. All right, guys, we got to talk about our friends at Indeed today. And right now at Indeed workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, and location, that's all good to go when the pressure's on and you need that hire, the right hire. This is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach those people that you're looking for. And here's exactly what matters. Stat for you. Companies like yours have made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide, in this 1 minute that I've been talking to you. So in the last 60 seconds, 27 people have been hired. That's incredible. Spend less time searching and more time interviewing your candidates who check all your boxes with less time, less stress, really, and more results. And when you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Listeners of Locked On West Virginia will get $75 sponsored. Sorry, my mic went mute on me. Sponsored job credit to get your job the premium status it deserves in Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support Locked On West Virginia by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast, where the terms and conditions apply. Do you need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs, Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Indeed.com/LockedOnPodcast.
All right, guys. We got one more to talk about here, and that are our friends at FanDuel. And, of course, FanDuel is doing it big right now. They're everywhere all the time. And college basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings with every single night, from early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on the board. That's right. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger potential wins with the college basketball parlay profit boost. Listen, you can build any college hoops parlay you want. You can do rivalry games. You can do ranked matchups, whatever fits your deal. But you can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you see the slate playing out. And then all you have to do is apply the profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. Look at the odds around your team, and if they are in season, go safe, go bold, ride the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style, and now there's more upside to go along with it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com today with FanDuel. Play your game. We're back here with Jackson Johnson in segment 3, where we're talking a little bit about basketball here as we roll into, we're just a few minutes away from the game. So a couple of things about this. Obviously, West Virginia needs a miracle to get into the tournament. I think a lot of us know that. It's just the reality of the situation. Wish it weren't the situation. You beat Kansas State, and who knows where you're at right now. But, you know, that's not the situation. You still want to get this quad 1 win, and you still want to go to the Big 12 tournament. Unfortunately, you'll probably play Arizona if you win this game. So that's like just another kick in the crotch. But I don't know. Part of me wishes that you would lose it, so you'd play Kansas maybe, or some one of the other teams in the league. But either way, any of the top 5 teams are basically a really tough out for West Virginia, and it would have to be a miracle performance to win those games. You know, I think West Virginia is going to win tonight. I do feel like they will. I've felt like it all day. I've had a gut feeling that we'll probably pull this out, just like BYU the other night. We'll win the one we're not supposed to win. or that the fans have given up on the team. But it's all about the Big 12 tournament. Beyond this, you got to have this win for a shot to get in the tournament. And if you can win this one tonight, then you got a shot to go into the Big 12 tournament. And maybe if you win 2 games there, you can get in, because that's what it'll take. But I don't know what that 2 games is going to look like. Does that mean you get a bye and then you face one of the best teams, and then, you go to the championship game or the semifinal or whatever it would be? I don't know. But I think West Virginia is in a spot where I think if you make it to the championship game, and I still think you're in if you win tonight. If you lose tonight, you got to win the league. So I think that's my opinion. You win tonight, I think you can get in by making it to the championship game. You lose tonight, you're going to win the Big 12. Those are pretty much, that's where West Virginia's at, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Not a great place to be in.
No, it's not. Yeah, I'm looking at the Big 12 tournament for next week, of course, because of course the top 4 will play in the quarterfinals next Thursday. But if West Virginia wins tonight, they could have a first round bye, and that would be pretty good, especially if you win against Central Florida tonight, because that would be your second win over Central Florida, as you've already got the 2 wins over Cincinnati. Because that's if you need Cincinnati to lose tomorrow to TCU on TNT. But as I always say, don't ever put yourself in a position where you need somebody to win or lose for you. But that's the reality of the situation at the moment. So, Mountaineers, pull for TCU tomorrow, because you're gonna need better positioning in the Big 12 tourney. TCU can help you out tomorrow.
If TCU wins, what happens?
If TCU beats Cincinnati and West Virginia beats Central Florida tonight, I believe West Virginia can be a 7 seed in the Big 12 tournament, which means they would have a first round bye, and they'll be playing in the second round next Wednesday night on ESPN.
Versus who?
The winner of 10 and 11.
Okay.
10 and 15, my bad. 10 and 15. 11 and 14 are playing the winner of number 6.
Okay, so who is 10 and 15 at this point? Do we know, or does that not?
As of right now, BYU is below West Virginia at the 10th spot, we could say.
That would be our luck,
Colorado is 11th.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So either one of those would be great. What happens if TCU wins? Where does West Virginia then? They get no bye?
We're going. I don't think they do. I believe.
I kind of want that scenario.
Actually, I think they would be an 8 seed. They would possibly be an 8 seed for the second round. Because
I just haven't looked into it because I haven't cared, to be honest. I'm neutral on it because I've always been, just like last year, I always felt like if we would have played in the first round last year, we would have had an easier game. We would have won, and we would have probably got in for sure, because we played in the second round. We got a bye. We played a team that was a little bit better, and we got upset, and that knocked us out. It actually hurt us by getting a bye last time. So this time I'm thinking similarly, like if we get a bye, we'll probably end up playing BYU in the second round, which is like, okay, you're going up against the number 1 pick. We beat them wire to wire last time, and that was cool, but I wouldn't mind playing BYU. They're actually not they're a good matchup for West Virginia. And it would look good on the resume, but you're still got to win out beyond that, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, if you win tonight, you basically get that second round bye. You can just sit and chill. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens. But if you lose tonight, it looks like you may not get a bye in the Big 12 tournament. You'll be
Well, that's what I
playing-
want.
There we go.
Just because we need more wins. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, like
If we get a bye, that skips the potential for another win.
yeah,
Um,
go for a little Cinderella run in the Big 12 tournament every single day of the week. I like it.
I mean, I think if you win tonight and you win 2 in the Big 12, you might be in the conversation. Then depends on what else happens on the bubble and what happens with that large teams. But if everything works out perfectly and you win tonight and the next 2, you might get in the conversation. I don't know. I mean,
Hey, if
I'm
West
just saying
Virginia-
in the
if West
conversation.
If West Virginia can make like a run like North Carolina State did 2 years ago in the ACC tournament, I'll be right here celebrating with you, good buddy. I'll be celebrating for sure.
I know you will, Jackson. You'll have to have a coffee due with me if you do that.
That's fine with me.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump out of here. We got a game to watch here in a few. I'll be here for the post game right as soon as the game is off. So come here as soon as the West Virginia UCF game goes final. We'll discuss end of the season thoughts. We'll kind of put all that in perspective. How did I say perspective just now?
Perspective.
That's like, who talks like that? Who says their eyes like that?
Ren for Ren and Stampy?
No, actually, Merrill Hodge says them like that.
Merrill Hodge, okay.
Yeah. He says perspective. Just side note. Yeah. His eyes are pronounced like E's in a word with an I in it. I'm sure he says I like I, but like if he's saying a word that has an I in it, that's like got iv at the end, he'll say Eve instead. I've noticed that.
Well, I mean, like my grandfather from my
So weird.
mom's side of family always called Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for a drink of my little cup of coffee here.
Oh,
Before we bounce out of here. Just a sipperoo.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, I'm trying. Oh, by the way, so here's what I'm thinking about doing. There's a lot of you guys in my Discord. This is probably bad timing. It's at the end of the show. A lot of you guys are in my Discord. I'm considering making it a part of the Locked On server. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments. I'll pay for your first month. If you like it, you'll have to pay beyond that. I'm in last place out of everybody on this right now, and I'm usually not anywhere. I'm usually in the top 10 on everything. It's bothering me, but like, I feel like me promoting it at the end of the show may be hurting me. So we'll see what happens. But, other than that, I guess we'll just talk about it later after the game, maybe a better time. So, Jackson, thank you so much. Didn't you have a message for everybody?
Well, I want everybody to roll damn tide, but it's like you say, we should always cue them country roads.
Don't forget to cue them country roads and roll damn tide. We'll see you guys later tonight. Peace.